Okay, welcome to part 3. So let's continue where we left off. So I was pondering on which colors should I use. So let me check. I think gray should suffice. Yeah, I think gray. Yeah, gray. I think the background should be gray. Yeah, so let me use gray. And then for the text fill, remember if you want to change the color to the color of, let's preview and see. If you want to change the color of what's inside, the color of that thing or that button or whatever, you use the set text fill. Text fill, it takes in a paint or a color that you're gonna use to fill in that node that you're using, whether it's a menu item, an item, whatever the case is. So yeah, that should suffice. But then there's something that I'm not liking here. Okay, the green is not going well with this. So I think a yellow should suffice. And then the text fill should, let me see, text. Okay, it's not showing, but the text fill should be, let's preview the text. Let's see if I can set text fill to white. Yeah, white should suffice. Okay, let's see if I can set the text fill to white. Let's set the text fill to white. I'm really pondering on what's the best color. I mean, why not? Let's just make it black. I mean, let's just be wild. Let's make it black. Let's make the menu bar black because I feel like gray is not going well with what I'm planning. It's black, then the text fill should be white, right? What if I make this to CN? What if I change this to CN? How would that look? It's not bad. Still, black seems like it's a bit too overboard, but it's fine. You can choose whatever colors you feel. You can make your own application unique in whatever way you see fit. So I'm just going to use black. And then for this, I can also set, let me see, what else can I set? Okay, I don't know what else can I set. But it seems like you can't set the text. Okay, let me go to menu, right? Let's see what other options do I have for menu. Let's set, okay, I don't have text fill. Let's set style. I could set style, but then I don't know what color should I use. Yeah, let's not make it complicated. It's fine, we just leave it as gray. There's the default one, which is that light gray. Yeah, let's leave it like this. This should be fine. Let's just leave it the way it is. So we left at the part where we're adding and styling and everything. So we've added the menu bar to my stack pane, right? And then we can just move in that same order, right? So we are done with the menu bar. We've added the menu bar, and then we now need to go to the horizontal box, right? The H box. So I'm gonna write a comment here that says, and then I'm gonna copy and paste everything. Copy, paste, and then I'm gonna say this is setting. Okay, let me write in all caps. Setting up horizontal box or an H box in short, and then paste this. So everything that's within here, it's for setting up the H box, horizontal box. Everything within here, within the section, I'm setting up the horizontal box. So before I set up the horizontal box, right? This horizontal box, it has two children, accordion and pane. So the horizontal box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize, right? I just called it hbox. And if you feel like being extra, you could do that. You could just use this keyword to help you find out the names. I feel like it does help you a lot because you can, if you forget the names, just use this. And then it says equals to new h box, the horizontal box. And then there we go. We've instantiated the horizontal box. Instantiate an h box. We have an h box waiting to have children, right? Waiting for us to add children. But then these children are two, right? We have the accordion and pane. But then each of those children have their own children, and then each of those children have their own children. It becomes a tree-like structure. So let's do one step at a time. So within hbox, I need an accordion and a pane. So what I would do is I'll start setting up the accordion. So set up accordion, right? So it's this dot accordion equals to new accordion, and then done. And then I should put an end of setting up accordion so that you know where each code starts and where each code ends, right? So with everything within here, it's going to be me setting up the accordion. So what I'm going to do is so that it's a bit beautiful, man. I'm an artistic type of person, so I like my things looking a bit artsy or arty or whatever you want to call it, however you want to pronounce it. So yeah, this is more beautiful. And then copy this. You see the power of comments. If you didn't have comments and of setting up accordion, if you didn't have any comments, right, it will be an issue for the other developers to understand your code. So yeah, that's why I do it this way. That's why I'm adding all these comments so that you guys understand what's going on. And if you watch the video, you remember, oh, when you look at the code, like, oh, so this is the part where he was explaining and doing this. Okay, I remember that part. You get what I'm saying? So we have a title pane. So we're gonna have three title panes, right? But I'm gonna set the first title pane, of which I called it titled display. If naming conventions are very important, titled display is equals to new titled titled pane, my bad. Titled pane. There we go. I have the title pane. And then there's the title pane. And we didn't really set anything. Yeah, you see, everything is the height and it's by default. We're using the default height and everything. We're not setting anything, any background color. Let me see. I think we did set something. What was it? Yeah, the border color. Okay, I forgot about that. So the border color, we need to set the style for the border color. So for this pane, right, this dot title display dot set style. Trust me, you don't have to do this. You don't have to use this keyword. I'm just using it to help me remember what I named things and to also not type everything from scratch. So border, it's border color. Yeah. Border color should be purple. Okay, we have that. Border color is purple. And then I'm just gonna add all of the code that once then we see the display. Because if I add one by one, it's gonna waste time. It's gonna take my time and your time. So because I already explained how to add things. So within that title pane, there's a grid pane. And the grid pane, let's see, it also has its own border color of orange. So this is a bit cumbersome, but yeah, we'll eventually get there. So we need to set up the grid pane for this title pane, right? So this dot grid display is equal to new grid pane, right? Nothing too fancy, just grid pane. And then the grid pane, if we check, let's see if it has a specific height and width. Okay, we're just using defaults. So let's keep it as it is, using defaults. And then the border color should be orange. So this dot grid display dot set style, then fx border color to orange. And then that should be fine. So we have reached the leaf node, the last node, or the last instance, right? Or the last class, whatever you want to put it. This is the last one, right? So now we can start adding this thing, going up the inheritance hierarchy. So I need to, because there's many title panes, I don't edit, I don't add everything in that order yet because there's many title panes. So what I'm going to do is add the grid pane to this title pane because it's a child. Grid pane is a child of that specific title pane. So I'm going to say this dot titled display dot get children. Okay, so okay, yeah. So title display doesn't work the same way as other things. So this is the way we're gonna do it vice versa. We'll start by creating the grid, then instantiate. So the title pane, right? From what I'm looking at here, it works the same way as where is it? The menu bar, whereby the constructor is the one that has to take in those things. You don't say dot set. So that's why I'm going to start by creating the grid first, then create the title pane. So the title pane is going to take in this grid display, right? It should, if I'm not mistaken, it should. Oh, okay, I see. I almost forgot. Remember, this title pane is a string. It is a name. So we need to also set the name. So grid display, it takes in two things, the string followed by a node. The string that we want there is the firework string. Yeah, you must not forget these things. And then we'll sort of repeat this whole procedure, right? So we sort of repeat these whole steps, but it's fine. I'll write them from scratch. So we are done setting up the title pane, this first one, title pane number 1. We're done setting it up, right? Remember, we can't add to accordion yet because there's many title panes. I could add the title pane and then move to the next one, fix it and edit. I want to add all of the children at once. That's why I'm saying we're done with this one. We need to move on to the next title pane. So the next title pane is this one. We called it title pyro. Still remember? So since this is the order that I'm gonna use, I'm gonna start by initializing the grid itself. So dot grid pyro is equals to new grid pane, and then the border color should also be orange. So this dot grid pyro dot set style, fixing the string fx border color should be orange. Then we're done with the grid. Now we go to the titled pane. So titled pyro is equals to new titled pane, which takes in a string, the name of the pane. This one should be called lead pyro technician, then followed by the node that we want to add, of which is the grid pane. In this case, it's grid pyro. That's what we want to add. And then we also need to set the border color for the title pane. Dot set style. And then we want the border color to be purple for this. For this one, border color is purple. You see the importance of planning. If you didn't plan, you will be facing a lot of issues right now. So now I'm going to set up the last grid and the last title pane. So this, what's the last one? It's fireworks, right? So this dot grid fireworks is equals to new grid pane. Then we need to style the grid pane. So this dot grid fireworks dot set style. And then the style is fx border color. The style of the grid is what? Orange. So orange. They all need to match. And then this dot. That's the nice thing about planning, right? I'm writing and I'm not worried about how it's going to look on the grid because I've planned. I know the rows and columns and all those things and the sizes, the width and the height. I know all of them. So that's why I'm just writing and flowing easily because I've planned well. Planning is you do more of planning than actual coding because look at me right now. I'm coding less. I'm writing. I'm investing less time in coding than the amount of time I invested in planning. So yeah, just that I have to explain it to you. That's why I'm a bit slow. If I wasn't, I would be fast. I'll be done. So this dot titled, we need to set the titled. So this dot titled fireworks. I remember that's how I named it. Is equal to new titled pane. And remember the title pane takes in two things. There's a default constructor and the parameterized one. We want to use the parameterized one. It takes in this dot grid fireworks, right? And then this is going to be called, the name of that title pane is going to be called fireworks. And then we're going to have this dot titled fireworks dot set the style. The border color should be purple. So border color should be purple. So we are done adding everything, right? So we're done creating everything. Now we need to add everything to the accordion. Oh, we're not done. We are not done. Let me see. I didn't do it the right way. Yeah, my mistake. We need to start this afresh. I didn't do it the right way because I forgot the last one is scroll pane. So let's look at it. So the way to make it things simpler, right? You always start with the leaf node, the one that has no other child, which is grid pane in this case. So I need to initialize the grid pane for fireworks. So this dot grid fireworks is equals to new grid pane. At least I remember that I forgot to do this. Else it would have been too late to figure that out once you are running your application. I could figure out, but just that such errors should be minimized. Don't create silly errors. That grid fireworks dot set style, and then the style fx border color should be orange. Right, we know that. And then I need to create an instance of scroll pane. So this dot scroll pane is equal to new scroll pane. I think there's different constructors. There should be one that takes in the node, but let me see if I can't just add it to this. So this dot scroll pane dot get children. Okay, yeah, I can't get the children, so I'll have to initialize it through the constructor. So I'm gonna pass this dot grid fireworks, because that's how if it doesn't have the get children, that means you're initializing it via the constructor. So just check on the constructor what you need. So we did create the scroll pane and everything, and the scroll pane, remember, it has no styling, it has nothing. And then we need to add the scroll pane to title pane because scroll pane is a child of title pane. And which title pane are we adding it to? The one for fireworks. So I need to instantiate it. So this dot titled fireworks, I need to instantiate it first. If I don't instantiate it, then there's going to be a null what pointer exception because it's not instantiated. So it's basically pointing to null. So new title pane, it takes in a scroll pane like this. Then remember it needs a title, so it takes in the string and the title. So what's the string here? We're gonna call it fireworks. Then boom, magic, we are done. So far, you don't see it yet on the output, right? That's fine. We did everything. We know proper planning. We did plan properly. So I think the accordion, I need to give it a specific size. I think there was a specific size, but we'll set it just now. So let's add these things to the let's add the title panes to the accordion, right? And I need to add them in that specific order. So I have accordion, right? I have accordion, and I have the title panes. This accordion has 3 title panes. So this dot, I need to instantiate the accordion. It's equals to new accordion. I think with the accordion you can call the get children function. Dot accordion dot get children. Okay, it doesn't get. What a nuisance. So we're just gonna pass them here. Let me see. Okay, there's the, yeah. Remember the 3 dots mean something. I keep reminding you, you go and revise what the 3 dots mean. So let me add my title panes, right? Since I understand the 3 dots, I know what it means. So let me add my title panes. So there's many ways you can write it. I'm just gonna write it without the base keyword. So titled, what's the first one? Titled display, right? So titled display followed by, what's the second one? Titled pyro. Then the last one is titled fireworks. Fireworks, like this, right? And then we are done. We've created an accordion, and we need to add the accordion to this H box. Then we can move on to pane, or we can add all of them at once. It's up to you. So in my case, I'm just gonna add them at all at once, right? So I'm gonna create these 2 things. But before we do that, let me create the width and the height for this accordion, because it's very specific. You see, these values are important. So set preferred width and set preferred height. So this dot accordion dot set preferred height. By default, it's set to be the parent size, but I don't want it to be the parent size. I want it to be my own specific size, right? So let's look at the height. The width is 412, right? The width is 412.0. Just put the D there to signify it's a double, but you don't have to. As long as you put the dot 0 there, it should be fine. Height is 623. 623.0D. And then we have this. I think we should be fine. Let's look at the grid panes. Okay, the grid panes are fine. They're just that size. So I'm sure now you can appreciate the apps that you see out there, like code blocks and whatnot. Imagine having to build code blocks. There's a lot of code involved. And this is just a small application. Imagine building apps like code blocks or Eclipse. Remember, it's GUI. There's graphical user. It is a graphical user interface. There's buttons and things that are clickable. So yeah, that's very important. So we have, before we add to the HBox, I need to instantiate the pane, right? So this is the end of the accordion. So I'm gonna end it there and then copy my code there. That comment we need to reuse. And then here I'm gonna say setting up. What are we setting up? Pane. Yeah, the pane, the abstract class pane. That's the one we're setting up. Okay, there we go. Then I'm gonna put that comment at the end to denote that is the end of setting up pane, so that you know where each code starts and where each code ends. So I'm setting up pane. So let's see pane. We have this pane class, so I need to instantiate it, right? So I'm gonna say this dot pane is which is the canvas pane, right? Yeah, I called it canvas pane. It goes to new pane because it's a pane that stores the canvas. Makes sense. And then this dot canvas pane, that canvas, I want to set the preferred height and width. I just put 0 there so that the code doesn't span the whole line. Dot set preferred width 0. And there we go. So let's check the width and the height. That's why I said planning is very important. The width is 487. So width 487.0D. You don't need to put the D there. I just putting it there so that I confuse those people who don't study. So 487, that's the width, and then the height is 617. 617.0D. There we go. There's the canvas pane, right? We have the canvas pane, but then we also need the canvas itself. So I need to fix that. So let's create the canvas itself. So let's create, let's instantiate the canvas. This dot canvas is equals to new firework display canvas. It should come, okay, I haven't, okay. The one that takes in the stage is this, okay, my bad, I was confused, mixing up the two. So there's the canvas, and then the canvas, it has a specific width and height, right? Which is the same as its parent, which is the pane. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say this dot canvas. I think it is the set width. Yeah, literally set width and set height. 487.0D. That's the width, and then this dot canvas dot set height is 617.0D. And then now we add the canvas onto the pane because the canvas is a child of pane. So I need to say this dot canvas pane dot get, this one has children, dot get children dot add canvas. And then that should be fine. We are done adding the things, the pane and the accordion. Now we need to add those two inside the H box, right? Inside the H box. So here I'm going to say set up H box. Let me see, did I instantiate it just in case? Okay, I did instantiate it. And remember, this is the end. You see here, this is where the H box, setting up the H box ends. So set up H box. So the H box dot get children, right? And then dot add all. I want to add a collection of children, right? More than one child. And then the order that I add them is the order that it's going to be displayed in. I need to start by adding an accordion first. So I need to add accordion first, followed by the pane. I called it canvas pane. And then the H box itself needs to be added to that V box, the vertical box. We've called it main box, right? So now I need to add H box to main box, right? So main box dot get children dot add meeting an H box, and then the H box itself, the main box, which is the V box. Let me see, I've called it main box, right? Yeah, it's the V box. So the V box itself needs to be added to the stack pane, which is this class, right? So I'm gonna use this keyword. So I'm gonna add V box to stack pane, which is this class, which is this class, right? That's why I'm gonna use this keyword. Or you can say super. I think it's still fine. It's one and the same thing. You can say this dot get children for this class and then add main box. Still fine. It should work. So let's display. I think it should have everything now. Okay, something is not right. Application start method Did I set up everything correctly? Okay, everything's set up correctly. Something is not right. Let me see. Duplicate children added. Firework display pane. What duplicate children did I add? Did I mess up the order? I mean, they should have duplicate children, not the same child though, but different. So the firework display, the title is firework. That's fine. Okay, I forgot to set the style for the fireworks one. Remember, it needs to match. So copy this there. What duplicates is it talking about this thing? So this dot accordion, new accordion, firework, title display, title pyro, title fireworks. Perfectly fine. And then the accordion, we add it there in the pane. I don't see where the problem is here. Okay, let's look at here. Okay, so that's the line. And then after that, it's complaining about what? Setup grid. Oh, so duplicate children added. Let me see. Where did I add main? Did I already add main box? Oh, yeah. I did once, my bad. The huge mistake that I made. So I need to edit once, right? So I need to comment out this line. You could say super or this keyword, it's one and the same thing. Yeah, my bad. That was a mistake on my side. So you see, it's exactly how we planned it, right? So that's what importance of planning. The importance of planning is very important. But something is not right here. You see here, the fireworks. So let's go back to fireworks, right? So this should be removed. We add, yeah, it makes sense. I don't know why I did that. Just that I got lost in thoughts. You could say this keyword was super because, yeah, it's one and the same thing. So I'm just going to say super to show you that it's a function that I did inherit from that class. So for the fireworks, something is not right with the fireworks. I did set the style to purple. And then it takes in the grid fireworks. Let me just remove this keyword. Seems like that's a bit redundant. Okay, so I think the real issue here is the size. So I need to specify the sizes that are needed here. So let's go back to accordion and check the size. It kind of makes sense why it's complaining. So I need to set the grid to be that size. The grid for fireworks, right? That's the one that I need to set. So this dot grid fireworks dot set preferred height. Let's change that to 0 for now. This dot grid fireworks dot set preferred width. Set this to 0 for now. And then the width, the height and the width is 406. 406.0D. Then the height should be 523. 523.0D. Let's see if now it works. Yeah, there we go. So there's the height. It has a scroll pane, so it should be fine. So the height, we can increase it a bit. Let's increase the height. Let's make it 550. Remember the height is how tall that thing is. Yeah, so that the scroll pane, you see the scroll pane, its purpose is to scroll, which makes a lot of sense. Why it makes a lot of sense why it's called scroll pane. And then there's the file and everything. So remember the menu bar, we said we're no longer giving it a color because it complicates things. I'm not going to set the background color, so I'm just going to leave this to default blue. Then for my menu and my menu item, I need to set, remember I want it to look exactly like this. The plan that I had here, it needs to have that yellow. Is it green? Yeah, it should be green. Just that it was yellow when I was testing out this thing. So the menu is this one, right? The menu. So menu dot set style. Let's set the style fx border color is equals to green. And the main item also border color is equals to green. So item dot set style minus fx minus border minus color slash hyphen, what is this? Colon color. So there it is here. So green, then there you can see it's there. So far we haven't added any functionality, but I'm still also not done because if you look at my accordion, it doesn't have that line. You see that line that we're planning to create, that border color. It doesn't have it. So let's see where we went wrong. If I look at my accordion, right? Let's look at properties. The border color should be yellow. So I didn't set the border color for my accordion. If you planned, it's going to be very easy to see where you went wrong. So this dot accordion dot set style, then fx border color. We said it should be yellow when we're planning. So let me run it. So there we go. It's yellow. You could use something bold, something strong. You could use red or black. You see, yeah, we'll stick with red. There's many colors you can use. Mind you, don't have to do this. It's just that the interface looks beautiful. That's all there is to it. Okay, so we have our canvas. We have, so the canvas, I need to set it. I didn't set the canvas. The canvas pane, remember, I also need to set the style. Canvas pane dot set style, it should be red. FX border color, that should be red. And then run. So there we go. We have a clear distinction of where one thing stops and where the other starts, which is perfect. So the interface is done. We are done implementing the interface. Now we need to add functionality. So let me see how far I am. Okay, I still have a lot of time. I still have a lot of time. So I just need to do something real quick. I'll be back in a minute. So let me do Okay, I'm back. So let's continue where we left off. Okay, so we did set start, we did set everything. Now we need to implement the code, right? So now it comes to we get to the interesting part, right? The most interesting part. Excuse me. So we need to go to where we have the menu item, right? So remember when you run this application, when you click here, the important part is the menu item, which is the open. So we need to set an event handler to handle the event when this thing is clicked. So when this is clicked, you see nothing happens at the moment. So when that is clicked, it should do something. So the way we do that, right, I'm going to make it very simple. I'm going to use lambdas, right? So I'm going to say menu item dot set on action, right, like this. And then I say the event that occurred, then I put an arrow like this, and then bam, we are handling the event. So when the user has clicked on this menu item, set an action. What should happen when it's clicked? For now, let's just say I'll put an error message and say menu item, so that we know it has been clicked, has been clicked. Come on. Yeah, so let's do that. You should pay attention to the terminal. Let me shift it to the side. So when I click open on the terminal, I should output red. Click, you see. Item menu has been clicked. Let me click again. Clicked, it has been clicked, click, it has been clicked, right? That's the simplest way of adding functionalities to specific nodes, right? So in this case, we're adding functionality for the menu item, but this is not the functionality that we need. We need it to tell the user to open a file and then read the file, right? So we can do that by file chooser, right? So we need to instantiate the file chooser. So instantiate a file chooser instance, right? We need to instantiate that file chooser instance. So at the moment, I don't need this panel, so I'm just gonna minimize that so that my screen is a bit more visible to you guys. So there's the code. So we need to instantiate a file chooser instance, right? So to instantiate that is simple. You've been instantiating. So this dot file chooser is equals to new file chooser, like this, right? We've instantiated a file chooser. And then what we want is to set the initial directory for this file chooser, right? So I can say this dot file chooser because what happens is, okay, so let me do this. So the file chooser, right? Let's open the file chooser. So this dot file chooser dot show open on or open dialog, right? So it opens when you click, right? This just means open the or open the file, right? So, how do I put it? Open the file explorer. So when it should show you a window to see in order for you to select a file, a specific file. So if I don't do this, if I comment that out, you see that nothing will really happen if I click there. You see, nothing really happens at the moment. But if I say show open dialog and I pass the stage to specify on which stage is this menu item on, and then I run, it should open. It should make it open. You see, it opens. But then when it opens, you see the problem. It doesn't open the specific directory that I want to open this thing in. Like enough, there's my Plex solution there. I could just go into it and then go inside data and then go inside layouts. You see, that becomes cumbersome. We don't want something that's gonna become cumbersome for us to code. So I'm gonna set an initial directory, right? How do I do that? It's simple. You say this dot file chooser dot set initial directory, and it takes in a file, right? And it takes in a file handle. And then I don't need to specify the file handle. I can just create an anonymous class. So I'm going to say new file and then specify Because remember the file class, it helps the computer know, or it creates a connection between you and the actual file. If you just pass a string, it thinks it's a string. So in a way, the file class helps Java to know, oh, you are referring to a file, not that string. You mean the actual file. So it needs to take in the file handle that's gonna point to some directory. So it's gonna go into the data folder. Within the data folder, it should go into the layouts folder, and then that should be the initial directory. So when I run this, you see the difference. It's gonna lend me to the layouts folder, which is the initial directory of where the binary files are stored in. There it is. There we go. We have layout 1, layout 2, and layout 3. So we have done this. We've made a lot of progress, but we haven't gotten back the file that's read. So after the user has selected the file and clicked open, we haven't gotten back the file yet. So we need to get back the file. How do we do that? We need to create a file handle. So file handle is equals to new file, right? And then not new file, but because we're not creating a new file, we are getting the file from that file chooser. Dot get what is it? Is it dot get file? What is it? What's the specific? I think it's get initial directory. Gets the value of the property initial directory, the initial directory for the file, right? So I want to get, let me say get title, the title of the displayed. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. So we can also set the title. So let me also set the title for this. The file chooser dot set title. So the title, okay, in this case, right, let me run it. Let me show you what I mean by title. Let's run it and then let's try to open. You see, there's no specific title here or anywhere that says what should we do. So let me add a title that specifies that choose a binary file, right? So choose a binary file to read. You don't have to put in those ellipses. You don't have to put those 3 dots. So if I run this, look at the top, they choose a binary file to read. That's the title that I'm setting. So that the user knows, okay, you should read the binary file, not a text file. So cancel and then close. We have this. And then it should, let me see, what does this function return? Sets initial, okay, show on open. It returns the selected file or null if no file has been selected. So it returns this file, this show open, it returns the file once if there was a file that was read, right? So when this opens, right, when you click that file is going to be returned. So we need to store that file handle into a file called file handle. Then we can display the name to just be sure that we did receive the file, right? So I can say handle and then dot get absolute path, or you can just get the name of that file. So let's get the absolute path, right? Meaning from the initial directory. In my operating system, it's from home, right? So click and then I select the file and then I click open. And then after clicking open, you should see something interesting here. You see home, Kiyotaka, Eclipse Workspace, Practical, that's the full directory, right? That's the absolute path, starting from the root directory. If I want to just display the name, I could just display the file name. I could just say dot get name, right? The name, come on, the name of the file. So let's do that. Let's run it again, and then open, and then let's do number 2. If we check here, there's the name of the file. That's how you get the name. So yeah, we are successfully reading the file, right? Like like selecting the file, not reading. We've successfully selected the file, but we have not read the file, right? We need to read the file. So let me try something here. I remember this other option, but get extension filters. Or set selected filters, right? Let me try something here. And then I'm gonna say this dot file chooser dot get extension filters dot okay, not really what I was looking for. I forgot. I'll have to check the documentation again. So that's not really important for this practical, because what I wanted, right, I totally forgot how to set it, but yeah, it would have been cool, because there's an option where you say at the bottom here, it tells you what type of files are allowed. So you could set that there, but forgot how to set it. So we'll ignore that for now. Okay, I'm still less than an hour, so we're still moving on the right track. So we've gotten the file handle. Now we need to read the file. So we haven't been referring to the PDF in a long time. So let's refer to it now, because now it's important to know how to read the file. So remember the bundle display bundle instance that is created by the orchestra file handler.read file layout method. So this method returns a display bundle instance. That's why they told you to create that instance within your class. So now I know I need to say this dot bundle, right? And then if I look back at the class, this is file handler. So it's going to be equal to orchestration file handler dot okay, it's gonna complain. Okay, they didn't write it well in the in your UML in the what is in the file in the PDF. They didn't name it well. If you check the name here, it's called orchestrator, not orchestration. So they made a mistake there. So orchestrator file handler. Come on. But that's fine. I'm gonna say dot read layout, right? And then now it should show. It's actually called orchestrator, not orchestration. I don't know. Maybe I didn't read it properly. Let me see. Yeah, it's orchestration. They made a mistake. It's orchestrator. So you were supposed to figure out that mistake. That's the thing about these practicals. They are also human beings. They can make mistakes. So you must be able to figure out those errors. So let's look at the orchestration file handler class, right? What does it expect? It expects two things: a file name and a display root path, right? So this is where understanding what you're doing becomes very important. So what's the first thing? It's a file name. And if you look at that file name, if you remember in your notes, file input stream, buffer input stream, that's binary data. So this means this file name is the name of the binary file that we're gonna read, right? So I need to pass that name there. So that's why it's important to know the methods that are there. So I'm gonna say handle dot get name, right? I should pass the name of the file. And it's a string, right? Remember, get name is just return a string. And then the display root path, right? Let's see what that here what that is. Basically, it's the root path for the text file. If you check here, if you did read your textbook, this just means substitute this place is a placeholder for a string. What's the string? It's this one. The next placeholder is a string, which is that display ID. So the path, this display root path, the second argument is the path, the absolute or the relative path in whatever way you want to structure it. It's the path for the text file. Where the text file is located. So if you check in your project data folder, they're inside the data folder and inside the displays folder. So data, then displays. So the second argument here that I need to pass is going to be the string data, and then layout /. I don't know why it's doing this. Is undefined. Oh, okay. So what did they call? What is the actual name? Okay, it's a read layout file. So yeah, be careful of also the name that you're using, and then cannot make a static reference to an unstatic. Hey, there's a lot of errors in this thing. It's not a static method, you see. So yeah, you need to create an instance of orchestrator file handler before you can call it. So I need to do this here. So orchestrator handler. So I'm gonna say handler. Notice the difference. This is a handler and this is a handler. There's a huge differences between those two words. And then orchestrator file handler, there it is. And then that instance, we use it there. And then errors are gone if everybody's happy. So this is how they wanted you to structure it. Let me zoom out a bit. So there's the code, right? So the first step is we need to create an orchestrator file handler instance because this method is not static. Static, remember, it means that it can be called by the name of the class. You don't necessarily need to create an instance. And then in this case, we need an instance in order to call the method. That's why I'm instantiating there before I call the method. So notice those key important differences between the two. So we have the bundle, right? And if you look at the display bundle, is it the display file handler? Okay, no, we don't need that. So the orchestrator file handler, we don't need it. We are done reading. So the main important thing is where's the firework display? Where's the display bundle class? There it is. So if you look at the display bundle class, it has two things. It is a firework display and an array list of firework entities. So the first thing we need to display is the firework display, right? Let's display one thing at a time. We'll get to other things as we go on. So let me see how many minutes are there. So it's fine. We can just continue for now. So let's display, right? It's fine. Let me just pause here and then I'll continue in the next video because I know you guys don't watch if it's too long, so I keep it short. See you in the next video in part 4. We're done with part 3 for now.